name is Kelly. Welcome to the Kelly story. Judy Bloom, friend or fiend, with a pain and a great one. Let's start it. Meet the pain. My sister name is Abigail. I call her Great One because she thinks she's so great. She said, I don't think it. I know it. When she said that, I laughed like crazy. Then she got mad. It's fun to make her mad. Who cares if she's very great and I'm just first? That doesn't make her faster or stronger or even smarter. I don't get why Mom and Dad act like she's so special. Sometimes I think they love her more than me. Meet the Great One. My brother name is Jacob, but everyone calls him Jake. Everyone but me. I call him the Pain because that is what he is. He's a first-grade pain. And he will always be a pain even if he lives to be 100. Even then, I'll be 2 years older than him. I'll still know more about everything. And I'll always know exactly what he's thinking. That's just the way it is. I don't get why Mom and Dad act like he's so special. Sometimes I think they love him more than me. Ben is my fiend. Today at school, my teacher, Mary, called my group to the reading circle. Everyone else read at their table or in the book corner. Mary said, Justin, will you start? When we go to the reading circle, we read from a special book called People and Pets. Justin read a story about a dog named Goldie. Then Lila read about a cat called Sammy. Sammy the cat wasn't anything like my cat. I could write a better story about Fuzzy, I told Mary. Mary said, I'd like to see that story, Jake. Then she asked me to read. As I was about to start, a teacher came into our room and whispered something to Mary. I have to spend into a hall for a minute. Mary told our group, I'll be right back. She looked at me. Go ahead, Jake. The name of this story is Ben, I said. I cleared my throat twice. Ben is my fiend. Maggie laughed. I don't know why, so I kept reading. I'm glad she is my fiend because everyone but David laughed this time. Justin laughed so hard he fell off his chair. When he did, his chair toppled over too. That made everyone laugh harder. What? I said. My group. Fiend? Maggie said. Ben is your fiend? My group couldn't stop laughing. Even David laughed. Wendy, our helper teacher, came across the room. She sat in Mary's chair. What's up? She said. He think, Maggie started to say. He think? But she was laughing so hard, he couldn't finish. So Lila finished for her. He think Van is his fiend. What a fiend, Davy said. I just wondering the same thing. Justin, pick up your chair, Wendy said. Then she looked at me. Jake, do you know what a fiend is? No, I said. Can anyone help us? Wendy asked. Justin didn't raise his hand. He just spit it out. A fiend is a monster! A fiend is evil! I felt my face turn hot. I felt really stupid. Jake, Wendy said, look at the picture of the two boys in the story. The boy in picture were laughing. They look like friends. Now, why don't you start reading again? Wendy said. Ben is my fiend. I began. I mean to say friends, but fiend just slip out. My group was out of control. Let's settle down, please, Wendy said. She pinned both words on the board. Jake, can you find the difference between friend and fiend? I look at both words. They look almost the same, but one had an R and one didn't. So I said, oh, I get it. A fiend is a friend without the R. Now my group went crazy. Wendy couldn't get them to stop. I want to disappear. I picture myself walking out of class, down the hall, out of the front door, and all the way home. Instead, I just sat there. When Maggie laughed, it sounded like she's screaming. Like, ah! When David laughed, he sounded like a seal. Justin hold his breath when he laughed. His face got so red it looked like he's about to explode. The rest of the class was wondering what was going on. You could hear them whispering. Wendy clapped her hands. Okay, that's enough. Maggie, take a turn reading, please. When should I start? Maggie asked when she finally calmed down. Why don't you start at the beginning of the story? Wendy said. Maggie took a big breath. Then she started reading. Benny's my fiend. I'm glad she's my fiend but no one was listening. They were shrieking and stamping their feet. Lila held her stomach. It hurts, she cried. It's hurt to laugh so hard. Wendy said, Maggie, the word is friend. You could tell from her voice that she's had enough. I know, Maggie said. That's why did you send fiend? Wendy asked. I didn't mean to. That's when Mary came back into the room. Everything is okay? She asked Wendy, looking at us. Mary always knows when something is going on. Just a little mixed up, Wendy explained, giving Mary back her chair. Later on the playground, my class made a circle like when we were in the kindergarten. But instead of duck, duck, goose, Lila called friend, fiend. She tapped me for a fiend. I had to run around the circle trying to catch her. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel funny. Then everyone did it. Even Justin. And he's supposed to be my best friend. That was the worst. At dinner, the great one looked at me and said, What's wrong? Who say anything wrong? What's wrong? Who said anything wrong? I can't tell, Mom said. Is something wrong, Jake? I made a mistake in my reading group. I pushed my poster around my plate. Everyone makes mistake, Mom said. Not this mistake. I'm sure it wasn't that bad. Dad. Oh, yes, it was, I told him. Mom, Dad, and the great one wait for me to tell them more. But I didn't. The great one starts guessing. Did you say a bad word? Is that it? No. Did you leave out a word? No. Did you mix up two words? Maybe, I said. How did she know that was it? Everyone does that, she said. It's no big deal. But it was a big deal to me. The next day at school, when Maggie saw me, she said, "Hi, Fiend!" Everyone laughed. On the playground, I didn't play any game. I climbed to the top of the monkey bar and stayed there. "Help, Fiend!" Victor said, pointing to me. Everyone laughed again. The next day morning meeting, Mary asked if I could give the weather reports. I shook my head even though I knew the word weather. So Justin got to be weather reporter instead, and Dylan got to ask the riddle of the day. When it was dangerous to play cards. I knew the answer, but I wouldn't raise my hands. I was never raised my hand again. So Mary called on Marco. He said, "When the Joker is wild." Everyone clapped for Dylan, Riddle, and Marco answered. Later, Mary sat next to me during reading time. She said, "What are you reading, Jake?" I showed her a book, Reptile Around the World. "You want to read just to me?" she asked. I shook my head. "You want to keep reading to yourself?" I nodded. "Okay," Mary said. I didn't tell her I was never reading out loud again. On the school bus going home, I sat next to Justin, but I didn't talk. I faced away from him and looked out the window. So Justin joked around with Dylan, who sat behind him. When we got off the bus, Justin said, "Guess what I'm going to be for Halloween?" "What?" I said. "Oh, Fiend! Isn't that the best idea?" Oh. I didn't answer. I ran the rest of the way home. I could hear Justin calling, "Jake, wait for me, Jake!" But I didn't wait. At home, I got a big piece of paper and wrote, "Justin is a fiend." Justin is a fiend. The night when Mom finished reading to me, I said, "Justin going to be a fiend for Halloween." "What are you going to be?" she asked. "Nothing. I'm not going trick-or-treating." Mom looked at me. "Okay, but if you change your mind, I'll help with your costume." "I'm not wearing a costume." Mom kissed me goodnight. When she was gone, I got out of bed and tiptoed to my closet. I reached up and grabbed my wolfman mask. Grandma bought it for me over the summer. It's pretty scary. I pulled it on. "What do you think, Flossie? Do I look like a fiend?" Flossie yelled. What does he care about fiends? Then I yanked off the mask and got back into bed. Bruno was waiting for me. Bruno is my best friend now. On Halloween night, the great one danced into the living room. She was wearing a tutu, cowboy boots, and a red wing. She carried a magnifying glass. How do you like it? She asked. What's the supposed to be? You can't tell? I didn't answer. She sighed. I guess you're just not old enough to know. And know what? Spy dancer. Who's spy dancer? Never mind. She turned and twirled to the front door. She was going to trick-or-treating with her friends. We could go trick-or-treating too, Dad said to me. I'm not going trick-or-treating. I put on my wolfman mask, and every time the bell rang, I opened the door. A couple of little kids screamed when they saw me. One girl said, What are you supposed to be? A fiend, I told her. What's a fiend? It's a opposite of a friend. Oh, she said, reaching into the candy bowl. She helped herself to 3 mini boxes of raisins. At least I think that's what they were. It's not that easy to see when you're wearing a wolfman mask. The next time the bell rang, it was Justin. I saw his dad waiting for him on the sidewalk. He was wearing a monster mask, but I cautioned him away. Last year we went trick-or-treating together. Are you supposed to be what I think you're supposed to be? He asked. Yes, I told him, and I growled. He growled too and took a handful of candy from the bowl. Then we just stood there looking at each other through the eye hole in our monster mask. Finally, Justin said, I have an idea. I said, me too. You go first. Justin said, no, you go first. Ready? Justin asked when I came back. Ready, I said. We jumped off the porch and ran down the street together. Later, when I got home, I ate 2 crunch bars from my loot bag. Then I added an R to the sign that said, Justin is a fiend. This is the end of Judy Blume, Friend of Fiend, The Pain and the Great One. And thank you for listening. And see you later. When we met again, I will read you a chapter 2, Useless. This is Kelly, and thank you for listening again. Okay, goodbye.